What is going on, my precious gems? Thank you for tuning in to Channel 4. I'm your host, Frosty Cones, and welcome to the first Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle here on the channel. And before we get into anything, I just want to go ahead and get the introductory shit out of the way. If you guys want to go ahead and show your support on this video, on this series, definitely please do so by leaving a like or leaving a comment on what you thought about the battle. Or if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, find me in my my Discord channel, because doing this actually takes a lot of fucking time. Like, I'm not like I after watching, you know, like Shofu's battles, Nexus's battles, David's battles, I didn't really believe that it really took so long and it was like really as tedious. And it's not hard. It really isn't a hard process. It's just time consuming. It took me like the past 3 nights even being able to set myself up to do this in the first place. But going into this battle, we got a battle against my boy. Please let me know if I butchered this, because I hate saying people's names wrong. But we're against my boy Zohaib. I don't want to say Zohaib, but I want to say it's Zohaib. Or you guys might know him as MasterMetagross. I'll be linking his Twitter and I believe his channel. I believe he started up his YouTube channel down in the description below. But on our squad, we got the Toxapex, Shinotic. I don't know why I'm blanking. We got Toxapex, Shinotic, Glycopod, Mimikyu, Mudsdale, and Tapu Lele. On his squad, he's got the Xurkitree, Incineroar, Tapu Bulu, Araquanid, and the Garchomp and the Metagross. So this was a really fun battle. I definitely want to be getting into more of these battles with you guys. So like I said, you can hit me up in my Discord channel. That's a good way to contact me to get battles. You can also follow me on Twitter and contact me that way. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. And I'm sorry it's not like the freshest of quality. I'm still trying to find the ins and outs of recording this so I can get the highest quality for you guys. But we get into this battle here, and he sends out his Xurkitree. He leads out with Xurkitree, and I'm gonna lead out with Apex, my Toxapex. And look at that 360 no scope, you guys. It is so dope. But I already know that this is a bad spot to be in. I didn't know if he was Choice Specs or Choice Scarf. A Choice Specs Xurkitree, like a Thunderbolt from him, actually body bags the shit out of Toxapex. So I'm gonna go out here into my specially defensive Dainty, my Shinotic, as he goes for the Volt Switch. And Shinotic's here to go ahead and just soak up any special hits. He does go into It's Lit, his shiny Incineroar. That's a good looking mon. And I already know, like, he's probably going to go for like a flamethrower or like a flare blitz or something. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back out into my Apex, just because Toxapex is such a bulky monster. We have Regenerator, we can take hits, and he goes for the fake out. And it's not going to do that much. It's really not going to do that much to me. So I know that in this battle, getting Toxic Spikes up is going to be a huge priority. He's got Ultra Beast. He's got a Mega Metagross. I have no Ultra Beast. I have like, I think the quote-unquote strongest Pokemon I have is Tapu Lele. So I'm going to go ahead and get my Toxic Spikes up as he sends out the Xurkitree again. And here I was assuming, like, after he Volt Switched and he brought Xurkitree back in, I was assuming he was choiced in some sense. So I go ahead and go back. I go actually into my John Redcorn, which is my Mudsdale, and just to see what he goes for as he goes for the Hidden Power. So that just tells me right off the bat he's choiced. And after doing a couple of calcs, it turns out that this was a Choice Specs. I want to say this was a Choice Specs Xurkitree, so that was some really good information to get right off the bat. So I'm going to switch out again into Apex and soak up that Hidden Power Ice, because he can't really do anything. And this is going to actually give me my chance to go ahead and get my Toxic Spikes up. So he's going to hit me with that Hidden Power. I'm going to get my Black Sludge recovery, basically leftovers. And just look at Toxapex. Toxapex is just like throwing them hands up like, yo, you want some of this? He does go into his Mectavius, which is his Metagross, as I set up the second layer of Toxic Spikes, and it's going to come in clutch later in the video, or later in the battle, I guess. I mean, yeah, we can say video or battle, whatever, but I'm really scared of this Mectavius here. He's going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, but I do know that I will be able to take any hit, even if it's a Zen Headbutt from a Metagross. This is a max HP, max defense Toxapex that we're dealing with here, so he can definitely at least take one hit. And again, we have Regenerator, so we can soak up the hits and then switch out. As I'm gonna go for the recover and just go, I went for a recover just to see what he would go for. I didn't know if he might have Thunder Punch. I actually am not too sure if Thunder Punch is even available right now without Pokebank, because I can't remember if that's an egg move or not, or a tutor move. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch out Apex and go into John Redcorn. He's kind of useless at this point in the battle. The main point of John Redcorn, he was a max HP, max attack, choice banded Mudsdale, and I wanted him to do some work. I really did, but he just really didn't get to this time around. So he dies out. I send out my Grimes, the Mimikyu, and this was actually a Mimikyu that was gifted from my friend. It's a max speed, max attack Mimikyu with Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, you know, the basic set. And I'm actually going to go for that Shadow Claw as he switches out into the Garchomp. He does get poisoned from the Toxic Spikes, which is pretty awesome, because I need as much chip damage on this team as possible. He's got a really threatening team, and I'm already one mon down. So for some reason, I switch from my Mimikyu into my Shiinotic as he goes for the Iron Head. I should have gone into Apex here. I was actually predicting an Earthquake coming from this Garchomp, but I should have seen Iron Head coming a mile away, and poor Dainty just took the price for that. So I'm gonna go into pull out my baby boy, my Golisopod. This is like the one mon that I like bred competitively and all of this good shit, but I do leave a strong first impression, and we take out the Garchomp. We are going to take some rough skin damage, but that's not a problem because we are max HP, max attack with a Citrus Berry. So that's going to come in clutch later in the battle, and you guys will see that shortly. So the Circuitry does come back out, and he gets poisoned, and I'm going to try to get as many turns of poison off on this guy as possible. But what sucks is that my Shiinotic and my Mudsdale are both down, and I have nothing to soak a Thunderbolt from this Choice Specs Circuitry. So I did have a strong feeling that this Circuitry was Specs, but I wanted to switch out into Tapu Latte and see if maybe I can get some more information for him or from him. But he does go for the Volt Switch, goes back out into his Incineroar, and that Incineroar gets the poison too, which, I mean, like I said, I've been trying to get chip damage off on this team, and setting up Toxic Spikes was definitely not a mistake. So Incineroar is going to go for the Fake Out, and he must have forgotten that Psychic Terrain just prevents any priority whatsoever. So he's gonna basically waste a turn, and I'm gonna go for the Moonblast and get a lot of damage off on this Incineroar. It's basically gonna be a 2-hit KO. We do outspeed. Incineroar is like base 60 speed. Tapu Latte is like base 95, and we are max speed. We are timid natured with max special attack, expert belt, Tapu Lele right here, and we do take out the Incineroar. I keep wanting to say Torracat. We do take out the Incineroar with another Moonblast as he goes out into his Circuitry with another Volt Switch, and it is going to take out my Tapu Latte. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It didn't, because I was expecting this to knock out, but it didn't. He does Volt Switch, and my Tapu Lele just lives on 3, and I feel like if Tapu Lele didn't live with that little bit of HP, this would have been a whole different game. But he switches into his Tapu Bulu. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Moonblast, and it's gonna do a pretty nice chunk of damage. But we get the Grassy Terrain recovery off, and I like Tapu Bulu. He's so, like, design wise, he's a sick looking mon. He packs a heavy punch, but out of all of the Tapus, he's probably the worst one, just because he gets recovery off on the whole field, basically, if you're touching the ground. So you guys are gonna see here that actually does work in my favor. And I'm gonna go ahead and fire off another Moonblast with my Tapu Latte. It doesn't really matter what happens with this mon anymore, as we do go ahead and knock out the Tapu Bulu. I'm just here, I'm ready to go ahead and sack this thing off, but I'm not entirely out of the woods yet because there's still that circuitry, there's still the Mega Metagross out here as he does go out into the Mega Metagross, this Mectavius, this beautiful looking monster here. And he's gonna go for an Earthquake. I'm assuming he was predicting the Toxapex to come out on his maybe not his Zen Headbutt, but maybe like a Bullet Punch or Meteor Mash or something. So I really didn't have a reason to switch out. I'm just gonna go ahead and sack off Tapu Latte, and it really did do its job in this battle. It handled a pretty good threat. It handled another Tapu, so it's cool. So I'm gonna go into my pull out as I'm just gonna try to get off a first impression, which is completely like it's one of the safest moves to go for. As he does go into his Bubble Buddy, the Araquanid, which like when I realized that he nicknamed his Araquanid Bubble Buddy, I just lost my shit. That's a good nickname. So we're gonna go for that strong first impression, and it does a nice heaping amount of damage to the Araquanid. And here you're gonna see that what I'm talking about when the grassy terrain comes in clutch on our end, because we're getting recovery off, and yes, we do have the Citrus Fairy, we do have Leech Life, and this is going to be a little bit of a back and forth Leech Life battle. I actually am surprised, I was really surprised that Araquanid outsped in the first place, but he does outspeed, he goes for the Leech Life, and I'm like, okay, that's nothing. That is actually nothing. So I'm going to show him what a real Leech Life is, and I'm going to hit him hard. I'm going to hit him hard, and it's going to take out roughly about maybe, I would say that's about 45 to 50% right there. So the first impression is base 90, and it did about like maybe 65%. So a base 80 Leech Life is definitely putting in the work for us as we're getting in all of this recovery right here. Like the damage, what is damage right now? Everything is poison, everything is racking up a lot of toxic damage. So the grassy terrain is going to disappear. It is going to disappear. And I'm gonna switch out pull out because I don't want him to take too much damage just yet. I don't want to pop that Citrus Berry just yet. So I'm gonna switch into Apex, predicting the Leech Life from the Araquanid. Ooh, excuse me, I had to yawn. You guys know how it is, and it actually does a little bit more damage than I expected. It still wasn't a lot of damage, but it was a fucking crit. Of course, it was a crit. Crit really didn't matter because I'm about to face off against either a Circuitry or Metagross, and going off the damage that the Zen Headbutt did from the Metagross, Toxapex was gonna die either way. I believe it lived barely on like 38 HP. So maybe if he did go into Metagross and go for the Zen Headbutt, maybe it would have done. Maybe that crit kind of did matter. But the Araquanid, I can't talk. The Araquanid does go down, and he does go into his Circuitry here and takes out my Toxapex, and it's kind of getting down to the wire here. It's getting really stressful here. So he does get the Beast Boost up, and I'm not too worried about that because I have 2 Mons with priority. And here I was trying to figure out on the switch if Grimes had used up her decoy or not. So I switch out into Grimes just to see, and we do still have the decoy up. So I'm gonna actually SD up right here as he goes for the Thunderbolt. This is my chance to get a free setup in. Actually wait, was this thing actually scarfed? Because I believe Circuitry has like base 80 or something like that speed. So the fact that he outsped, oh my god, I thought he was specs this whole time. You're gonna have to let me know, MasterMetagross, in the comments what the Circuitry set was, because I was trying to figure out if he was specs or scarfed this whole time. But I do get the Sword Stance off, and I'm gonna go for the Shadow Sneak and try to pick up the KO here, but we barely miss out. And luckily we do have that Toxic Poison that is gonna come in clutch, like I was saying at the beginning of the battle, as he does go for the Thunderbolt, knocking out Grimes. He's gonna get his second Beast Boost off, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because I'm sorry about that. My dogs are just going nuts. My neighbors downstairs are hammering like stuff into the to the walls. So my fucking dogs. My fucking dogs. Yeah, my neighbors downstairs are like hammering stuff in their walls. Like, I guess they're just now moving in, so my dogs are losing their minds. But it's getting down to the wire here. He goes into his Megtavius, I go into my pullout, and we're facing off. We are facing off. And he goes for this in headbutt, and I'm just crossing my fingers. I'm like, please do not let my bad luck kick in and flinch me out. Please do not flinch me out. So I was debating whether or not I should go for the first impression or the leech life. And sometimes going for the first impression is not always the good play, because in situations like this where I need as much recovery as possible to stay alive, it's going to be a 3-hit knockout with the leech life. And in hindsight, maybe I still could have survived, as he does go for these in headbutt. And I get my Citrus Berry off, which is, it just comes in clutch. Citrus Berry Glycopod is just way too good. My pullout game is so strong right now. And we're going to go for another Leech Life. We're going to go for another Leech Life. And things are looking great. I'm still crossing my fingers that I don't get glitched out, because my luck just sucks in Pokemon. If you guys do not know, my luck actually fucking sucks with Pokemon. So, oh, excuse me. So he is going to go for one more Zen Headbutt, and it's obviously not going to kill as I get another Leech Life off, and that is going to be the battle, you guys. I was really not expecting to win this because he had so many strong, like, threats on his team, but it really did come in clutch. And like I said, that's gonna be the battle. Good game to you, MasterMetagross. It was really fun. It was a nice little challenge. Like, it's been so long since like I could like get into Wi-Fi battles, and now I can, and now I can share them with you guys with this Citra method. So like I said at the beginning of the video, if you guys could show your love by leaving a thumbs up for the dude, it'd be greatly appreciated. It is kind of tedious. It's a really tedious method to get this done. I don't know, like I don't know how often I'll be uploading these, and I'll definitely be trying to up the quality on this battle. I know it was kind of slow, and I know that it was kind of like choppy. Maybe it was because I was trying to record in 60 FPS, go full try hard for you guys. But I'm just glad it was able to work in the first place. So we'll definitely be doing these a lot more. Maybe we'll be doing these like maybe once or twice a week or whatever. But check out any of the videos here on the screen if you want to see more content from me. Again, don't forget to leave a like, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to get out of here, guys. So thank you for tuning in to Channel 4. I'm your host, Frosty Cones, signing off. Peace.